Hi ladies and gentlemen, Sean Davies here with coloradoreinsman.com. Something new today, a little different than my usual training videos. I am here at our new Mustang River Annex, a little place that's got some paddocks and some other pens for us to use. We recently brought in some rescue mares. We went out to the feedlot with a friend of ours, Amber Harrell from Shiloh Acres Horse Rescue in Alt, Colorado. And with her, and in conjunction with Front Range Equine Rescue and also Denkai Animal Rescue here in Colorado, we pulled about 22 horses off of the kill lot. Most of those being pregnant mares that were dumped off at the auction. Right now we've got 3 of them right here. These are all quarter horse mares. Real nice gray mare here. Got a nice chestnut and then a dun coming up and taking up the rear. This real nice old chestnut we're going to get out to a foster home very soon. The gray mare is probably going to stay here as a foster with us, and we may keep the dun back here. All 3 of these were a little difficult to catch there at the feedlot, but this chestnut's turned out to be a very sweet girl. I think she's probably had quite a bit of training somewhere back in her life, but from the looks of her feet and other things, she is far from being recently handled. All 3 of these mares are severely skinny. Some of them have snotty noses, but our job is going to be to provide a good, safe home for these babies. Now this dun mare right here, I had to rope these 2 mares over when we got them off the feedlot over to Shiloh Acres Rescue. I had to rope both of these mares to catch them in the round pen and get halters on them. The nice thing was all 3 of these mares and the other horses we picked up walked right in the trailer for the most part. And this dun, I played with her the other day for the first time, and she was real skittish, but by the time I finished, she was coming up to me. You can still see she came up, but she a little nervous. Now she goes away. I'm going to take the opportunity to come over here. Up, gray mare ran. I'm going to just spend a little time here to work with these mares. I'm going to push that dun off a little bit and get her to get hooked on. She's got to be handleable for when these babies are born. So give us a few minutes here. I'm going to work with her, and I basically work with these unhandled mares the same as I do some of the Mustangs. All 3 of these girls have settled down so much since they've been here. Let me kind of try to separate out this dun mare. My gray girlfriend right there, she's coming around nicely. So I'm going to square up that dun mare. I'm going to stop her right there, stop her. Get her to face me. Give me 2 eyes. I'm going to take the pressure off right there. I'm going to ask her to smell my hand. Now she'd just run away from me the other day. Now I'm going to walk off right there and take that pressure off. Now I'm going to come back up, and this dun mare, she's our most pregnant mare. She may foal within the next month, several weeks, next month. Not quite sure what month these mares are in, but this one's pretty good size. I'm going to take this opportunity right here to push this mare off, block her off from the other 2. I'm going to separate my chestnut. Let her just stand there for a second. Approach her. She turns, I'm going to push her. Get big right here, I'm going to block her. I'm going to take that pressure off. I'm going to pet her. Good girl. She gets a little grumpy, and I'm not going to allow that. Chase her off again. She gets grumpy and I got to help her with this foal. Good girl. Now you've seen this 100 times from any of the big name trainers, and you know, even your good Mustang makeover trainers. We all use the pressure and release. Get these mares hooked on, get these horses hooked on. I'm just going to kind of sidle in here. She doesn't get to leave me. So basically what I'm saying right here is stop. So this lesson for this video is mostly about pressure release, how to square these horses up, get them to give you two eyes. Take off the pressure. This mare has not been handled. I think she's been stuck out in the pasture just popping out babies for the last years. These mares are all a little bit older, we think. Good girl. I'm going to try to come in here to the shoulder. Now, if she moves away, I'm going to push her away. And if you notice, she squares back up and looks at me. I'll let her just get comfortable right here. Just going to let out a big breath and relax. I'm going to look down. Ask her to stop. And now I'm going to walk away real quick. I got a nice little hand on her shoulder. I'm going to walk away, and what happens? She follows me up. We didn't want this horse going out to a foster that wouldn't be able to handle them or halter them. So I'm going to take her for a while. She will be available for adoption along with the baby, or even separate after it's weaned, through Shiloh Acres. If you would like to donate to these mares' care or to Shiloh Acres for all the other horses that were pulled, please go to her website, shilohacres.org. If you want to donate and help out in the care and feeding, because it's coming out of all of our pockets here, if you can go on the Shiloh Acres site, she has a PayPal account that you can donate. Anything helps. We just bought a large amount of hay for these mares and the other rescues. And you can annotate it in the comments section, and Amber will send us a check to help pay for all that hay, and you'll get a tax-deductible receipt. She's licking and chewing, so I'm going to back off right there. Just take that pressure away. Come back up and approach. Nice relaxed hand. I'm going to touch her, and I'm going to take the pressure. She was leaving, but I took the pressure off and left before she could leave. This all has to do with timing, that energy. Have a nice big relaxed exhale. This mare is coming around. She wanted nothing to do with being touched out at that feedlot or even over at the rescue. Now she left me, but I'm just going to keep on reaching until I can hold her right there, and then I'll take that pressure away. So she lingered a little longer. Every time it's a little longer, and this mare actually comes up to me now when she sees me. So less and less is she moving away as I approach. There, she didn't even take a step off that time, so if she's going to leave in a couple seconds, I'm going to leave in 1 second. Now I've got her just coming with me a little bit more. Let her smell me, take that away, smell me. Rub her face a little bit. She wants to take that away, it's okay. I'm going to make my sweet spot here on her shoulder. Oh, who's a good girl? Now for many of you horse people, this is just old stuff. You already know that. For some of you who are just coming into horses that watch my videos, and you just want to see, you know, kind of how to handle this situation, this is a big breakthrough right here. That's a breakthrough and a half. So as good as that is, do I want to keep rubbing her till she leaves me, or do I want to walk off? So I'm going to walk off. I'm going to let her think about me being gone. So I just want her to think about me being away from her for a minute. And she's going to be so much easier to approach next time. I don't have to make a ton of progress all in one day. I can do a little bit at a time. I'm going to grab a lead rope and get a lead rope. I've got a halter on this gray mare. I'm going to get a lead rope and see if I can't hook up to this gray mare and move her around for a minute. So stay tuned. Okay, I'm just going to try to clip a lead rope onto my gray mare over here. Actually, once you get her handled, she does pretty good, but you know, just want to show some of you folks that are going to be watching what a sweet horse this is. She's going, I got a bush. And I have to do the same thing with her. I'm going to try to separate her off. This Don and Gray Mare are pretty good buddies, so they don't like to be separated too much, but if I can separate my Gray Mare here, big thing is I want this horse to face me up. When she's facing away, she's avoiding. So I want to get her facing me up. If she'll stand there, that's fine. Good girl. That's just fine. Good girl. Now she turned her butt towards me in a way, so she's not real thrilled about people right now. I don't blame her. We tried to send her to Mexico. And once you get your hand on this halter, she's pretty calm. And as you see, this horse, she's leadable. She walked right in the trailer. I think this horse has probably had some pretty good handling in her life at one point before she got stuck being a brood mare. She's a good girl. Just going to rub on her a little bit. I want you to see what a sweetheart she is. You know, once her foal is weaned, I may evaluate her and see where her riding is. You know, she's got to gain a lot of weight back. We're feeding them real good, making sure they're going to be healthy. She's actually looking pretty good, starting to gain this weight. They eat very well. Now this mare, real polite with her feet. Good girl. Good girl. She's a little off balance here. Like her to get her balance. Pick up that foot nice. None of these horses had their feet trimmed in a long, long time. They're all due. Ask her to move that head. See, she's very nice when it comes to this. Shifted her weight real good. Doesn't try to take that foot away. Real gentle about laying that foot down for me. Touch her on her back. Boy, this little mare was skinny though. She's going to be a nice little horse. Ask her to come to me. I'm going to ask her to stop. I'm going to ask her to back up. This horse has had some work at one point. I'm going to ask her to back up and move off to my right. don't have my stick right here. I'm gonna ask her to move on. Come on. She's a little out of practice. Good girl. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna grab my stick. Okay, I'm gonna work this little mare just a little bit and show you. I just picked off all of her feet like you saw. It's today is Thursday, 28th, so these horses have only been off the feedlot since last Saturday. I think they're gaining some weight. This little mare is showing me that she really has had some work. I'm just going to ask her to back up off me. Hey, if that little mare, first time I've ever worked with this horse, that little mare understands what a backup means. Let's see what she knows, because I want somebody to adopt this horse. I want to back her up. I'm going to direct her shoulder over. Got my stick with my flag right here. I want her to get off of that pressure. Okay, she doesn't really know what that means, so I'm going to ask her to move off here. Okay. She's out of practice. Just keep her moving. She wants to brace up right there. I'm going to say, please get off me. There, she got off me. Now I got a bag on the end of this stick because some of them will just run right into that stick. And she's not freaking out. So I'm going to ask her to back up and move that shoulder off this way and move her around. I'm not going to work this horse too much. I just want to see what she knows. And drive her forward right here. Drive her forward. This is not a spooky horse. I'm going to move that rear end. Move that rear end. Move that shoulder. Move that shoulder. Move that shoulder right there. I'm going to move that rear end. Move that shoulder. Beautiful. Good girl. Good girl. That's all I have to do, work this horse right now. Get her to lead and follow me up. This is not a spooky horse. This is a nice horse. She is going to be a good girl. No telling how old she is. Yeah, she's an older mare. But she is a sweetheart. I think she's going to have a real pretty baby. Who knows, this horse might go into the pony club program or riding program. Who knows? I might like this old mare. Might have to adopt her myself, but if any of you guys see her and really like her and see the potential in her, by all means. I got a lot of horses and can afford to give up on her, but I'll try to get her to where she's going to be real nice and handleable for people. She's a sweetheart, sweet eye. Good girl. That's all I got to do with her. Now I'm going to get a halter on our Chestnut mare. She's got a foster home coming up, but we'll need a forever home. But I'm going to move the Chestnut mare around a little bit and see what she'll do. So stay tuned. Now this little Chestnut mare, I didn't have to rope her in the round pen. I was able to get her and just put a halter on. And we just picked up some cheapy halters at a horse thrift store. Some of these horses have little snotty noses. Don't want to use my good halters on them right now. Girl. Grab my... come with me, Mama. Just come with me. There you go. Yeah, a real tough horse here. Now you can see she's got a little bit of a snotty nose. And but this horse has been the overall most approachable. Very sweet. Nice look in her eye. Nice old horse. I just want to evaluate again maybe a little bit of what these horses know. And you can tell from this mare's feet she hadn't been trimmed in probably 6 months or a year, if that. And if she's trimmed, she's self-trimmed. I'm going to just lower my energy and come up here with this flag and touch her on that shoulder. Now, half your horses out there, folks, when you do this, are going to jump away like they're scared to death. And I am really liking what I see with these mares. Now, she moved off of that. She's a little worried there, but she does not. She's just checking it out. Are you going to hurt me? Absolutely not, Mama. I'm not going to hurt you. Not going to hurt you. Oh, it's a baby. This mare likes attention, actually. Now, she's a little touchy on that leg, so what am I going to do? I'm just going to rub her on that leg. So that shows that we might have a little bit of touchy issue there. So what do? Do I take that pressure off? Good girl. There, I take the pressure off and I rub her. Good girl. I've got to get these feet trimmed. I'm going to trim these feet as soon as I can, probably this week. This coming week after they settle in a little bit more. But this helps tell me how this mare is going to be with her feet. She's not real keen on that foot being picked up. Yeah, she's about ready to kick. So I've got to do a little work on her. It might just be tickling her. Good girl. So I'm going to test something here. Yeah, this horse hadn't had her feet done in a long time. So I've got some rope work to do, some pickup work to do with these feet. I'm going to ask her to give me this leg. Say, please give me this leg. Good girl. See her bend that leg right there. I'm just going to reward. Good girl. Reward. Good girl. This little mare is a little nervous about people. Good girl. I'll bring her back over here. See, she's kind of trying to back up to the comfort of the other mares. I'll bring her back over here. This horse hadn't had her feet handled probably in years, if that. So when I evaluate these mares, these are things that I'm looking at, what they can and cannot do. So we know this one's got to have some work done with her feet to make her more comfortable. Good girl. Otherwise, she's a real sweetheart. So let's just see if this leg's any better. You know, and a lot of this will just disappear with handling. Good girl. I'm going to massage her. I'm just going to massage her. Good girl. Boy, she really gave that leg up. Good girl. About to do a kneel down for me. Good girl. If all I get is her just learning that pressure means pick up your foot, I'm going to be perfectly happy. Good girl. I'm going to rub right there. Rub that shoulder. Reward. Good. Rub that shoulder. Reward. Try to make sure she doesn't strike me or kick me from behind on the top of the head. I want to make sure I stay out of that strike zone. Good girl. She quit moving, so I'm just going to rub her. Just going to rub her. Good girl. I'm very familiar with all this. This is exactly what you go through with a lot of the Mustangs. So I just don't want to stress these girls out too much. That's good enough for me. I'm going to ask her to move a little bit. If she has not had her feet done, I think this mare is probably not going to be one that's had much other work done. This may have been just a pure brood mare. I'm going to ask her to back up. She doesn't know a thing. I'm going to ask her to back up. There we go. So that tells me she hasn't had any foundational groundwork done. I'm going to come in here and pet her. I'm going to ask her to move that shoulder. That's good. Okay, so she got off of that pressure. Let's move her forward. Move her forward. Move her forward. She's looking for an exit, not so much work, but looking for an exit. Okay, that's nice. She's actually not pulling on me too terribly much. Okay. So I'm going to ask that. I'm going to bump that nose and ask that rear end to move away. Good. Now I'm going to come over here and ask that shoulder to move over this way. Okay. Ask that shoulder to move. There you go. Good girl. I'm going to ask her to, I'm just going to pet her right there. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. See, she's trying to exit, but that's okay. We got a little forward motion out of her. Let's move her. Let's move her. Let's move her. Good girl. I don't care about the protest. I want forward. Forward. Good girl. Good girl. Just move her. So this tells me this horse is pretty much a brood mare. A brood mare with potential. Good girl. Good girl. Doesn't know a thing. Doesn't know a thing. I'll ask you to get over here. Go forward. Good girl. licking and chewing now. Let's move that rear end. Let's move that front end. Good girl. Let's pet her right there. Let's move this rear end. Let's move this front end. Good girl. Move the front end over. See, she goes into that pressure. Good girl. I'm going to change my stick here. I'm going to slide this hand down, bump that nose. Come in and pet her. She's going, oh my God, you're killing me. So this little mare, she's got good potential, but she doesn't know that much, if anything. Don't want to stress them out. You can see she gets a little excited if she has to work. She's a good girl though. But she never really lost it, didn't strike out, didn't try to kick me. So we're doing pretty good there. Good girl, Mama. Alright, so this is our Chestnut up for adoption, up for foster. Stay tuned for updates.